And Mr. Thomas is charged in cause number 25 DCCR 0843 with the first-degree felony offense of aggravated robbery. And Mr. Lewis has filed a motion asking that I reduce the bond, which is currently set at,
I think 600,000.
okay. And Ms. Malfino, you have a witness. Do you want Ms. Malfino to go first? Would you rather go first, or
No, I'll first. She can go.
go ahead, Ms. Malfino?
Okay, Judge, just for purposes of the record, I would tender to the court just for ease of use, State's Exhibit Number 1, which is a probable cause affidavit in this case, and I will call Detective Kennedy.
It's in my file. Do you any
Right.
objection
No
to
objection.
States 1 is admitted for purposes of this hearing? Good morning, sir. Would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you, sir. Go ahead.
Could you please state your name for the record?
Dwight Dean,
And how are you employed?
Beaumont Police,
How long have you been in the city of Beaumont?
31 years.
You're a certified peace officer in the state of Texas.
Yes, ma'am.
And you and I discussed this case involving Hakeem Thomas as well as his co-defendant Tyree Hartley last week. And we're here in order to address the bond in this case. Can you briefly go over your...
Pay close attention, hey. This officer has 31 years of experience on the force. When someone with that much time in service calls a crime serious, judges listen. His testimony will play a major role in whether the bond stays high or not.
Involvement in the case and your familiarity with the facts in this case and why you think it's important that this defendant remains in custody.
My involvement is through Southeast Texas. I love that task force. We deal with auto burglaries, and a new offense has was added to our penal code called jugging. We believe that this offense started out as a possible jugging on breaking into a car, and which ended up into injury with two of the guys involved, one standing here as well, that ended up injuring an infant child through coordinated efforts of us locally here in Beaumont, myself, officers on the street, along with deputies of the Chambers County Sheriff's Department. We're all involved to have these guys arrested.
So they did actually flee from this jurisdiction into Chambers County after this offense, which again involved an infant child in the back seat of that car being injured when they attempted to break into that car and retrieve the money that the child's mother had obtained from the ATM.
That's correct. The ATM of the bank, that the vehicle, the dad left the vehicle, and the mother and the infant child were in the back seat of the car. Not only did they break into the car with shattering glass on top of the baby,
And there it is, the moment that changes everything. In criminal hearings, harm to a child is one of the most powerful emotional factors. Even without a weapon, emotional and psychological harm still counts, and judges take that very seriously.
in the car, with her continued efforts during the crime itself, they didn't stop. They kept on once they were successful, if you could say that, in any kind of theft. They did flee from here and were actually located, found in the same vehicle.
And did you subsequently with Detective Andrew learn that both of these defendants in this case had committed similar types of acts in various jurisdictions across Southeast Texas, Harris County, Fort Bend County, Austin, etc.?
Yes, ma'am. Some of it did happen that actual day, and of course some of it was put together, shredded in the background, and those on that for the arrest.
And is it your position, based on all of your years of training and experience as an officer here in Jefferson County, Texas, that to maintain the security and well-being of the safety of the citizens of Jefferson County, that it be best that pending prosecution of this offense, this defendant at least remain with some kind of a high bond from this court.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's what it should.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis.
Yes, just briefly. Now, you said you were definitely part of the investigation of this allegation, correct?
That's correct.
Now, during your investigation, was it ever shown that a weapon or any deadly weapon was exhibited to the plaintiff witness? Or so there was no weapon involved as far as we know?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. And as far as your investigation as it relates to my client, was it any
No weapon, you say? And if they didn't know a child was inside, maybe the act was reckless rather than intentional. But here's the catch. No weapon doesn't mean no danger. Breaking glass near a baby is still reckless, and that kind of recklessness can lead to prison time.
statements or evidence that showed that he was involved with the actual breaking of that of the glass or possibly injuring the child involved?
Not that I'm aware of.
Is there any evidence that would show that they even knew it was an infant child in the car at the time?
No, it's not.
Pass the witness, Judge.
I've done it for the judge, just sorry.
Thank you. Thank you, Officer Dean. Any witnesses, would you wish to call your
No.
client with regard to his financial status? Mr. Thomas, come back around. Best you can, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, go ahead.
Mr. Thomas, as far as your financial situation, you're currently in custody, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Now, do you have any money saved up that could be used for your bond?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any property that could be sold or vehicles or anything of that nature that could be sold in order for your family to come up with your bond?
No, sir.
Who would be responsible in trying to come up with the bond amount for you?
My mother and my wife.
Your mother and your wife? Have they been in touch with any bondsmen
Yes,
currently? Okay.
Now, this is where sympathy gets tested. The defendant says he can't afford the bond, but judges don't just consider finances. They weigh risk. The risk of fleeing, the risk of repeating the offense, and the risk to public. The real question is, would lowering the bond put someone else in danger?
And from the information you received, how much of a bond or commitment they will be able to make to try to bond you out?
Complete bond amount, between $70,000 and $100,000.
Between $70,000 and $100,000. Okay. Now, were you employed before you came to custody?
No, sir.
Do you have any employment or anything available to you if you're able to make bond?
Yes, sir.
And what would that be?
Being a helper to my wife's father in his CDL truck.
Okay. And that will give you enough money to be able to take care of any pretrial conditions or anything you need to do
Yes,
with your representation in this case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I pass the witness in front.
Ms. Malfino.
Mr. Thomas, tell the judge a little bit about your criminal history, starting when you were a juvenile.
I have no juvenile record.
Were you in trouble as a juvenile over in Harris County?
No.
What about your theft, your state jail felony theft from a person, which is basically another way of saying,
That's
who
not
did you
juvenile.
wrong?
Don't talk over her, okay?
I'll
Just
talk
wait
to
till
you.
she's finished talking so the court reporter can take one at a time.
Yes, ma'am.
Where was that?
Go ahead, Ms. Malfino, you might want to read.
Your theft from a person, which is basically a robbery, where was that?
2021,
Where? In Harris County?
Rosenberg.
Have you been in trouble in San Antonio?
No, ma'am.
Have you been in trouble in Austin?
I have a pending case in Austin right now
For what?
for a robbery.
Do you have any kids?
Yes, ma'am.
Someone would have done this to your wife and your baby would have been in the car. What do you think that person should get? Prison time?
I don't understand this.
I don't have anything.
All right, anything else?
Nothing else for this witness, Judge.
All right, you may make argument.
Judge, as far as this case goes, you've seen that It is charged as aggravated robbery, but it's one where we don't have a deadly weapon involved or anything like that. The biggest
That question is both strategic and harsh. It forces a defendant to face the human impact of the crime. And by saying the offender deserves prison time, he may have just hurt his own case.
thing, this situation, of course, my client does have some criminal history and lives out of county. I believe there's already some bond conditions in place for him to have the GPS monitored and be able to go to be in Harris County, come back, of course, for court and everything. We are asking for a bond in between $75,000 and $100,000. I think that, including with the GPS monitoring and everything, would be enough to cover, one, secure his return to court, and also, of course, satisfy any public safety concerns while these cases are pending. He does not have a hold for the case in Austin, because I believe he's still on bond for that situation.
Find out while I'm in custody.
Right. So he is on bond for that, so he will be allowed to be released. My understanding, there's not been a court date set up there. We don't anticipate that interfering with us here as far as any type of issues. And from
When did you make bond on that case?
July, sometime in July.
Okay,
I'm not sure the exact date.
okay, that's fine.
Sometime in July.
All right, go ahead.
But from talking with his family, they have been involved with this case he has going on up in Austin, and I think that actually will be resolved pretty quickly, and won't interfere with what we have going on here.
What, if anything, and